going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Two Guys Watching Football. We're hopping into the film room, getting into the tail of the tape, sponsored by DNL Tinting over here on Russell Street Report. And we are getting into the right guard replacements of Kevin Zeitler. Missed the game with a knee injury. His knee tightened up. He wasn't able to get out there, so we got extended look at Trystan Colon, which surprised a lot of folks, with him kind of being the one to take it over. But we also got to see some Ben Cleveland and the typical Ravens rotation. So if we look at it, just so we have the stats down, we had Trystan Colon, who drew the start, played 47 snaps, and Ben Cleveland played 14. So Colon played significantly more. We're going to look at both players. We're going to start with Cleveland because a lot of you reached out to me. You guys want to see Ben Cleveland snaps. We'll look at some of his snaps here first, get into some Trystan Colon, and see how they did filling in for the Pro Bowl-bound, possible All-Pro candidate, Kevin Zeitler. Huge loss, but big credit to these two for filling in. So let's get right into it. So we're going to start out here on the first play of the game for Zeitler when he came, for Cleveland when he came in, and it's going to be that big rush by Dobbins. So let's run it and we'll come back and break it down. It's going to be one of those duo concepts. You see the double team. Cleveland hits that crucial seal. You can see Dobbins from this angle, definitely running uncomfortably, but still 44-yard gain. So let's see how it got done. So we are looking at, where are the two doubles? We got doubles on the backside. So you're going to see Cleveland double with Linderbaum here on the zero tech. You get a double on the backside of the run by Morgan Moses and Josh Oliver. You're going to get a lead block from Ricard. They ran this duo concept quite a few times. And so you're going to see Cleveland come down. First of all, his first step off the ball this year has been night and day. Gets right out there. He's going to bang down on Cam Hayward, who is lined up over Linderbaum. Linderbaum peels off into Bush. Takes care there. You can already see Ben Cleveland starting to turn Hayward. And then he's just going to run him this way as Ricard comes up, hits his man. So you can see the gap that Dobbins ends up running through starting to form here. But what I love that Cleveland did is he kept driving, because he kept driving, and actually 34 didn't quite get reached by Morgan Moses. So there's a potential for him to come across, but because Ben Cleveland keeps driving, he actually pushes Hayward right into 34. See right there. And takes him out of the play. So he basically blocked two guys. So if you guys want to focus here, you got to get on this double team. You got Josh Oliver there. You can just see his head. Morgan Moses has to bang down here and then peel into 74 and get this inside shoulder. He's not able to do that. See, 34 still. Morgan Moses still hasn't come off that block. But Cleveland finishing a play, drive blocking down there, making sure he finishes his guy, keeps that gap open, and off goes J.K. Dobbins. So just really good work. And then that obviously led to this next play, which is the touchdown run. We'll just keep it running here. It's going to be our classic power concept. Look at that contact balance by J.K. Dobbins. This was Ray Rice-esque. So he's going to get right here. And it's stocked up here, and he's still 3 yards out. And look at, see, he takes contact. You can see actually right under, look at right where the purple mark is. Watch that left foot plant. See right there? And then he just is able to, look at Ricard basically throwing him in. Love it. So let's take a look at Cleveland here. Not an ideal block. He's got Hayward on him, so that's notable, but we know how the power concept is. You're getting down blocks play side here, and then you're getting Ben Powers pulling as he pulls around. I would have liked to see Cleveland work up this way a little bit. You see right here, he's got the initial leverage, but he's got to really drive through that hip. He's got to get up here. He isn't quite able to. Cam Hayward just doing what he's done so well. But the work here by, that's Ricard. Ricard is the one that made this play. So watch Ricard. Ricard's going to bang down. They're going to double on 99. He's going to throw him. Look at, he sees Bush coming. Bush is coming across right here. Bush is going to try and get into this gap. Ricard throws 99 behind him and then gets into Bush and just drives him. You don't see that too often. So watch him right here. He's going to literally throw 99 this way and then swoop out and get 55. Insane stuff. And then throw Dobbins into the end zone. Just great work by... But would have liked to see Cleveland get out there a little bit more aggressive on a cutoff block there. Not the end of the world, but just something to keep an eye on. We're going to see... I think this is going to be the zone read play. Let's run it through. Yeah. Just a great combo block by Cleveland here with the finish. So, I'm calling this zone read. Could be... I'm pretty sure it's zone read. Anyway, we're getting... Cleveland's going to work an ace block here with Tyler Linderbaum. And then he's going to come off. And just the way he comes off this block. So he's going to take care. Linderbaum seals. You see it right there. And then he's going to pivot, work into the linebacker. Boom. And then watch him finish right there at the end. Ends up with him. That's a big man falling on top of you. So just really good work there. Work the combination block. Get into level 2. And this is a play that actually came later in his game. We're going to get into 3 pass plays here. This first one's going to be a good rep. The last 2 are going to be bad reps. And this is kind of an ironic part. I want to kind of preface with context. Last year, when we saw Ben Cleveland, excellent pass protector. Never had an issue. Processed really well. Head on a swivel. Thought he played extremely well doing that pass pro role. This year, it's been kind of different. We've seen really good run blocking, like we just saw. And not as great pass blocking, specifically on his processing. So this was a good rep, one I wanted to acknowledge. I don't want it to look like it was all bad, so let's run it through here. You're going to see just really good quickness in his feet. He's starting with, he's going to get a 4-tech. They basically spread it out here. So you got a 4-tech on Moses. You got Watt out wide. They're trying to attack Morgan Moses. And he takes his 2 quick steps. 1, 2, plants. Basically going to just try and cross his face. When you do that, you got to take this post step, that inside step, flatten out, cross up, and boom, right there. Just a really solid rep. Nothing really to complain about. Creates that opening for Tyler Huntley. Gets a nice little scramble. I think he got the first on this. So here we're going to see just some poor processing. So let's run it through and then we'll break it down. And this led to a sack. So I don't know if they put this on Linderbaum or Cleveland. Doesn't really matter. Bad rep by both. Just not communicating. So they start pretty straight up. 94 is going to come down and be the pick man. You're going to get the loop here. And they're just not even remotely ready for it. Get that off there, sorry. So you can kind of see him catch it late. And then you basically end up one guy breaking a double here. And then one guy coming through unblocked. And that's just not what you want to see. So just poor processing, not being ready for this. What you'd like to see is Cleveland have some sort of awareness that it's coming, and he would basically drop this inside hand and try and reach across here, overtake that block, and then Linderbaum would be stepping up for when he loops. So you can kind of see he tried to put his hand across there, but he's late, right? He's late, he's high in his stance. Linderbaum is recovering to this block, so he's not ready for the looper. So they basically both end up with hands on 94, but nobody on. Is that Chris Wormley? Is that who it is? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Chris Wormley, number 95. So just nobody to block him. So ideally here, Cleveland picks this up. Linderbaum's able to use this post step here and basically cut off, get inside, but just wasn't ready for it. Everything happened a little too late. Get something similar here. Run it through. And this was one of the weird ones from Cleveland. So this came on his last drive. He played 5 snaps in the second half. And you can just see some indecisiveness. Right there. See how he looked kind of right there. He looked back inside. Stopped moving his feet. And then he just got widened. And as soon as you see this sort of stance, see that angle I'm drawing? He just gets flattened out. Watt's just going to run right by him. So, and then the cluster. Ronnie Stanley lost bad here on the left side. So that happened too. But just really bad block here. I don't know what's going on here with this processing. He's looking inside. Starts running. Again, he's not really picking up. You got 4, I think that's Spillane Spillane coming in to set the pick on Moses here, and then Watt's going to loop. So again, you want Morgan Moses to get that hand inside, and then you'd have Cleveland stepping up to hit that cutoff block. He wants to hit that hand right on the shoulder, but he's kind of recovering. You never want to see your offensive lineman at this angle, perpendicular to the offense or to the line of scrimmage. So just not great there. Something to keep an eye on if we see him again. It was just surprising based on what we saw last year. So now we get into some Trystan Colon, number 63 in here at right guard. Phenomenal day for the young man. Kudos to him. We're going to start here with a counter read. Let's run it through. You're going to get some of these really nice down blocks from him. Nice little finish there at the end. Again, we know this is counter read because the puller, this is how best way to do it. Pullers are going one way, handoff on the opposite side. I think this is how they're doing the fake of the counter. But from Colon specifically, his job here is just the down block. You see it right there. Nice physical. And then right here, cherry on top. Get him on the ground, give him the dirt. Love to see it. Here we get into a duo play. Let's run it through. Him and Linderbaum are going to work that. Ricard picks that up. If Morgan Moses makes his block here on this duo, you got something going. But I love his explosiveness. I love this right here. Watch Linderbaum's butt. He's just always the first man off the snap. And I know he's snapping the ball, so he knows ahead of time. But this was just a thing of beauty. But Colon comes, bangs down, and then is able to overtake. And they just move them, right? Like, they move those guys. Where are we starting here? That's like 3 yards off the ball. And you can see Moses here. Watch right here. If he's able to win this block, I mean, you're taking this. You saw Ricard go up here. If Moses starts moving his man that way, Dobbins starts to try and read it out here. But he just gets crossed up. Dobbins has to go much wider. Not ideal. So we get into this next one. I think he's going to pull on the counter. Yeah, so again, counter read. We got the pullers going one way, handoff to the opposite side. And just beautiful pull here. You're going to see him come in and absolutely level Devin Bush. Boom, right there, and then start running with him. Just kind of was a Bradley Bozeman left guard pull throwback. Just really precise movement, physicality. He's big, he's round, he's beefy, but he's able to kind of move guys and just play physical football. It was something I just really enjoyed watching. You're going to get a nice little ISO lead here. Just some old school physical football, but look at this, making this play. So he's going to work the double again with Linderbaum. Those two did phenomenal together. They must be sitting beside each other in the locker room. And Linderbaum, using his wrestling background here, is able to leverage, move him, and you can already see right there, he's passing off with those hands, and his eyes are going right into Devin Bush. And then he just gets right in there, physical. Watch him dip here. See how he dips? He gets these hands inside. He's going to drop these hips just enough, and then you can watch right there. You see Bush's torso get lifted up? He's low here, and then Colon lifts him, seals him, drives him. Just beautiful, beautiful football there. Really love his physicality. Just comes off there. You see Linderbaum wrestling. Oh, just great, great work from the interior. You can get a little outside zone action here. I know he didn't finish his block. Ben Powers overtakes it, but it's not because he didn't make it. So he gets right out here on 34. Really, and Colon's not overly athletic. See him right there? And he actually is going to hit the leg of Cam Hayward right here, and it trips him. Right there. See? That's just behind 34, but right there where the mark is, that trips him, unfortunately. But if Morgan Moses, again, I keep highlighting him, if he's able to take care of this guy who goes straight down the line of scrimmage, you can see right there, they actually had something that would have been, if Dobbins is able to come up here and Morgan Moses isn't reaching out from behind him and was able to seal him, he might have been able to cut it up here, get some extra yards. But where do we go now? I think this is, we're going to get into some of his pass pro plays here. Really like this play. He ends up scrambling out. Watch. What I really wanted to focus on here. So they're going to get Watt here, mugging the A-gap. That's a tough protection for these guys. They're just going to play it, let them come to you. And then what I really like, so they distinguish. You got 1, 2, 3. He's one-on-one with 99. And right here, he gets thrown off. That inside post foot is going behind, not something you want to see. But look at him reestablish. And so what he does is rather than panic and start to try and move him that way, he sinks. Right there, you see his body sink. And then he just leans into him. And what he did was he crosses his face back across. He's got a really strong core and a really strong anchor when he gets it dropped. Look right there. He lost the leverage, but he was able to re-dip his hips. And you could even see, watch at the start here. So at the start, his head is on this side. And when he finishes this, once he dips back down and pushes across, his head ends up on this side, right there. So he was completely able to overtake his leverage and just absolutely work cross-face. Just really impressive strength, really impressive drive. Like this one has a nice little quick set. So this is going to be on Chris Wormley, so you can see right there. Gets right into him, squares him up, drops his anchor, and as he tries to come across, but again, trying to cross his face, work that post step, he's just going to absorb the contact, drop his anchor, and then he plants and doesn't move again. Look at that. Oh, nasty work by Colon. Just was really impressed with how strong he was in his anchor. There's another quick set. And so this is not overly surprising given he's not the most athletic guy. Seeing a lot of these quick sets. Watch him get his hands right in there. And then what I really want you guys to focus on is watch his foot quickness. Look at that. So his foot quickness combined with that anchor is just a nasty, nasty combination. So that's all I have for you guys. I mean, I was really impressed. I hated seeing Kevin Zeitler not be out there. Love watching him play. He's playing at an all-new level this year. I think he's destined for his first Pro Bowl of his career. But seeing these guys come in, both of them, make impacts in the game, you got to feel good about that. The depth that the Ravens have on the interior at the guard positions. Even Colon for the center position, I think if something were to happen, they'd be pretty covered there as well, given his ability to play center. So that's all I have for you guys. Huge thanks to D&L Tinting, sponsoring Tail of the Tape over at Russell Street Report. Be sure to check them out for all of your tinting needs. As always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.